One of the guys over at Disney put out a social media post that highlighted this. Now, I want you to take a look at this graphic here. Do you know, Rob, that no movie studio had crossed the $6 billion mark in a year since 2015? But Disney is crossing it this year for the 5th time since 2015. They will cross the $6 billion mark at the global box. They did it in 2016. Incredible. They did it in 2017. They did it in 2018. They did it in 2019. And now this year, they have done it again in 2025, crossing the $6 billion mark, becoming the first studio to do it since 2019, which was, of course, themselves. And, you know, it just kind of goes more to the narrative that this year was a bit of a recovery for the box office. Not enough. Box office is still in trouble. They need a big 2026. But, you know, Rob, I looked at these numbers, and it really does remind us of the pure dominance Disney has had at the box. Again, no other studios crossed $6 billion since 2015. Disney's done it now 5 times since, including this year, the only film and the only studio to do it since 2020 or since 2019 and the pandemic. Anyway, Rob, you see these numbers. What do you make of them?
Well, I mean, when you have the franchises and you have the legacy that Disney has, to me, it's not surprising. You've got Marvel, you've got Star Wars, you've got Avatar, you've got Pixar, you've got Zootopia and the regular Disney proper animation. I mean, you know, the motion picture business has shifted into spectacle, providing big budget, grand entertainments for everybody. We're not going to get a studio making a movie like The Verdict, I don't think, ever again. So it's not surprising to me that Disney has dominated this market because their speciality is 4-quadrant films for families and providing great entertainment. I mean, that's literally what this company has always done. And it's so funny to think where they were like in 82 when Tron came out. Nobody wanted to put Disney movies in their theaters. Disney was re-releasing their animated classics, and then they tried to compete with the big studios and they couldn't. You know, they couldn't get theaters for Tron in the summer of 82. But now, you know, almost half a century later, they're the dominant entertainment force. And it makes sense to me. You know, I think that it's well-deserved. And we can make fun of them all they want. But they acquired the right things, and they still look. Toy Story 5, I'm sure, is going to be a banger. We're going to talk about that later. And they just do a good job. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about how much they suck. We can do that. But this betrays that. I mean, that's a lot of billions.
Well, I mean, it's the same that's true for everything in life. Like when something succeeds so much, its shortcomings get highlighted because it's the dominant thing. And Disney has just had so much ridiculous success that when they do have shortcomings, and they have shortcomings, and we have been quick to point out those shortcomings, especially in the last couple of years. But you also got to tip your hat to them and say, like, even in this environment, they crossed the $6 billion mark this year. Congratulations to them. They are still kind of the gold standard when it comes to all this kind of stuff and leading the way of all the other studios. So good on them. And we thought that deserved a mention. Guys, what do you think about this? Were you surprised to hear all of a sudden, wait, they crossed $6 billion this year? In a year that we've talked a lot about the shortcomings at the box office, rightfully so, but it has had a little bit of recovery, and Disney becoming the first studio to do it since the pandemic. Good on them. I think 2026 is going to be even bigger for them. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But whatever you guys think about all that, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.